are very conscious of this press freedom. We want to just demolish our own country and our own societies by writing nonsense things also. But I'm a journalist at the same time, let me say, but there should be some kind of limitations. You should not go beyond that. In this society, it's a very closed society, Kashmiri society is a very closed society, and at the time when there was a militancy, this insurging at its peak, it was very difficult to survive in that situation. Kashmiri means we go to the shrines. Kashmiri Pandits also go to the shrines. So we are, in a way, sharing the same kind of faith as Kashmiri Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus and the Brahmins. Sheikh Abdullah, what he was doing, after every, 5 years or 10 years, he used to change his policy.
Adab, you're watching Awaz The Voice and I am Yasmin Khan. In today's special interview, we have been joined by Saleem Pandit. He's a journalist, author of 3 books. There's a lot to discuss. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time for this interview. Like I said, there's a lot to discuss, but before we get into the topic, I would really appreciate if you would describe your life briefly, your schooling, your college, and how did you get into journalism?
Exactly, my journey in this field has been, you can say, like, it was so tumultuous that I have faced so many things. When I was a student of law that time when I started my own newspaper. That was namely Submission. So I started, it was a fortnightly kind of a thing. So I started it this Submission, and that time it was 890 early, I think. So there was no gadgetry like the modern gadgetry like computers and all this. So what I used to do is that I used to give it to the those mechanical things, and they used to just compose the alphabets, and it was a press in this what's that locality called Khania in Srinagar downtown. So I have started working there. I used to go to the university. I was doing my law there. So I used to get down from this university bus. Then I used to make the corrections, whatever they used to compose for the day. Then thereafter I used to go to the university and attend my classes. Thereafter I used to come in the evening. Again the same process. Then ultimately I would reach my home at 8 o'clock in the evening. This is one side of it. Then thereafter in 2000, I joined Times of India as correspondent of Jammu Kashmir. It was like that they had a slot from Srinagar, Kashmir. So I applied and ultimately I was selected. And there were some who just groomed me in a way, like Dilip Padgaonkar. He was my, later on he became my mentor. And Siddharth Vardarajan, I have worked with him also. I worked with that Bhamse, Kaveri Bhamse, and because she was, I named her because she was the first lady who was the editor of India Today once upon a time. And they were the man of letters, really. And they appreciated me and they encouraged me a lot. And they even introduced me to the new world, which was I was exposed to a new world in Delhi. I stayed in Delhi for some time also. So thereafter, I went to US also. I was with a program, that leadership program. We attended classes in Colombo University. We attended classes in Iowa University and Florida and so many other universities. So I had gathered a lot of experience of this. Now we'll come back to our Srinagar. This how I did it. I have done my BSc in science. Thereafter from SP College. Thereafter my schooling was in Biscu School, Chandra Biscu School. Thereafter basically originally I belong to Lal Chowk. I hail from Lal Chowk, Srinagar. So it was very close to my school, my house. So I was not exactly knowing till 10th. I was not knowing even where is this SP College located. Why I am just mentioning about this SP College, because my examination center was located in that, it was there in SP College. So I was not knowing even my center when I appeared in this matriculation examination. So I was a kind of a very shy person in my childhood. And thereafter, I completed my graduation from these 2 graduations. One, English Literature, BA English Literature, and Science, BSc Science. physics, chemistry, mathematics, and other things.
I think that's a lot of
Yes,
exposure.
there is a
academic
different,
exposure.
it's a spectrum of other things.
Yeah.
So thereafter, I joined law.
Mhm.
It was a 3 years course, including honors. So I had a different variety of my, knowledge. So I know the law, I know science, I know English and other things also.
But
So
what I am interested in knowing is about your journalistic career, because not many people know that there have been a lot of serious attacks on you for the kind of work you have done, and a lot of people have called you a mukbir.
yes,
What's the backstory?
I'll tell you. There is different. There were two factors for this. One was jealousy. Other was that they could not compete with me, my own colleagues. They made a narrative against me. They started telling that he is an Indian agent, because I used to do stories which were very unexpectedly coming in page one this of Times of India, and Times of India also got known in Kashmir. Otherwise, it was not. It was very docile kind of this newspaper in Kashmir, so far as Kashmir is concerned. So when I joined Times of India, I made certain stories. I wrote stories which made the high headlines of
Okay.
this Kashmir. Like I was doing I should say, during militancy, I could not have dared to do such kind of stories like how these inmates, jail inmates, are enjoying Wazwan in jail. So it was unexpectedly I was
Okay.
doing those stories, how they enjoy, how they are being provided these mobile phones and all that they had access outside, and how they manage getting somebody killed from the central jail. I wrote a story of that kind also.
Okay.
So they started making weaving a kind of a narrative against me, and telling people that he is Indian agent, he is mukbir, and so many other things.
But those were research-based stories, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm telling you, because otherwise Times of India would not have carried it. There are layers in Times of India, like paper. Any daily newspaper from Delhi, they have layer of these editorial these departments and all that. They see it, and afterwards they had a meeting in the evening. Thereafter, they just choose the space for that, where it will be printed and given the space. So I want to say that it was a very reliable story. It was not. I was just for the sake of it, I was writing these kind of stories. So they felt they were having from their bosses. They used to get the calls from their bosses. Why we have missed this story, by the way.
Okay.
So they started feeling sometimes jealous of me, and they felt a competition in me. So they started going this kind of a narrative against me. He's a mukbir, he's Indian agent, and this and that. So many other things. I never bothered about it. But in this society, it's a very close society. Kashmiri society is a very close society, and at the time when there was a militancy, this insurging at its peak, it was very difficult to survive in that situation. But thanks to Allah, I survived in that situation also, because basically I had a very clear mind, and I was focusing on my own this profession.
Okay.
I never looked this way or that way. So Allah also helped me out in this, and I just carried on with this my profession and all that. But ultimately, when I started even press club, they started saying against this also. Anything I used to do, they used to make up just propaganda against me, that he is Indian agent and this agent and that agent. Achha, sometimes they used to go to Delhi, and they just used to say something else there in Delhi, like our own local politicians do. So these journalists, my own colleagues, they were also doing like that. They go to Delhi, sometimes they say something else there. When they go to the other side across the border, they say something else. They have their connections and other things. So this is my story of how I was portrayed in Kashmir and all that. Despite all these things, I have just, you can say that I weathered all these kind of situations, and now, by the grace of Allah, I'm still alive, and thanks to Allah. So this is my real story. I'm telling you.
Since you have written 3 books, one of your
4 books.
Okay, 4. Very nice. So one of your books is about Sheikh Abdullah. It's titled as a bundle of contradictions. And in that book, you have defined Sheikh Abdullah as a very contradictory man. and
very vacillating.
And a political opportunist. But his image among the Kashmiris is somebody who would be often seen carrying a prayer mat, a tasbih in his hand. So why did you use such words for somebody?
I'll tell you. I have gathered by my research on Sheikh Abdullah, because he was the only towering personality of late 19th century who just shoot up in prominence by having an uprising against Dogra Hindu Maharaja. But at one point of a time, he was very people were thought like that because they were illiterates. There was no education. He had come from Aligarh after having done his post graduation in chemistry, I think. Yes, chemistry. Thereafter, he was a teacher, and after he was transferred to Muzaffarabad, he started revolting against Maharaja Hari Singh. So that was the start of it. What happened? Sheikh thereafter, he gave an image because he required that time. Because people were illiterate, they were very conservative, and they were connected to Islam and a different kind of Islam in Kashmir. Let me tell you here. Because Islam is not in its original form in Kashmir. It is somewhat diluted kind of Islam, and I write in my books that we are weak Muslims compared to the Muslims of rest of the world, the Muslim world, I mean. So because we are having a kind of a culture, what is called as Kashmirian. Kashmirian means we go to the shrines. Kashmiri Pandits also go to the shrines. So we are in a way sharing the same kind of faith as Kashmiri Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus, and the Brahmins, Kashmiri Brahmins. But Kashmiri Brahmins are more or like Muslims. They have mutton. They are mutton eaters. They are non-veg eaters, and all other things. So I am telling you, Sheikh Abdullah, what he was doing, after every 5 years or 10 years, he used to change his policy. Evolution is okay. It is with every leader, every politician. He understands things, he reads things, and thereafter he changes policy according to the situation. But what he was doing, he was so much vacillating that he used to change the whole policy. Sometimes he used to say that India is better because they are very liberal kind of Hindus, like this Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and he changed the name of his party from Muslim Conference to National Conference. Thereafter, at one point, the other point of a time, in 1948 even, when he even there was accession with India in 1947. In 48, when he was appointed as an administrator, this emergency administrator, he was told by one of his friends, namely Ghulam Ahmad Ashai. He told him that I had gone to some state in India, and I found these Muslims, the remnant Muslims, 3 crores were there. They are not being treated well in India. So when he came back, he told Sheikh, and Sheikh got changed. He said, I'm sorry for that I have just annexed with India. So he started doing one thing. He went to United Nations. He favored India inside the assembly. And when he came out of it, he talked to the American diplomat who was initially inside the house. He came out and he told him that we want to get out from India and you help us out. I will provide you the airspace, the base, and you will just give us money. I will take only Kashmir Valley. You give Ladakh and Jammu to India. This was his kind of a thing. He changed his policy and he wanted to be the regent, which without sensing that the world was changing, the subcontinent was changed, in the sense that there were 2 countries. India, which was by and large Hindu majority, and it was a Hindu India because there was no word called secularism in Constitution of India. So the other side, means Pakistan, it became a country in the name of Islam. So Sheikh was just a pendulum. Sometimes he was saying Pakistan, sometimes he was saying India, sometimes he was saying independence.
Sheikh Abdullah was a follower of Marxist ideology, like I said before, quite religious. I don't know, like if he used to follow a religion, but like we had an or like he had an aura of that. During that time, there was this wave of Hindutva ideology going on in India, And in 1950s, he gave land ownership to Kashmiri peasants, and that had a kind of soft corner for Abdullah. So why did you use this word that he was a pendulum swinging in and around?
I'll tell you. Basically, this is what I was telling you. He was vacillating in the sense. Sometimes when he came in touch with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1933, there were 2-3 people here in Kashmir. They were progressive Hindus like P.N. Bazaz and D.P. Dar and other kind of thing. I think some other person. They wanted him to get in touch with Nehru. Nehru was himself leftist kind of man,
yes.
And he had that socialist outlook in mind and all that. He also told Sheikh to follow that path. And there was one person called B.P.L. Bedi.
Okay.
B.P.L. Bedi is Kabir Bedi's father, the actor filmmaker. He was very close to Pandit Nehru. Pandit Nehru got him in touch with B.P.L. Bedi. And he gave them this concept, what you said about this land reforms and all that. Because this was a socialist and Marxist ideology. So Sheikh got influenced by Marxist theory that time. So he was in a religion even vacillating. He was never a true Muslim in the sense he was even changing his faith at every point of a time. I'll tell you, people used to sometimes think that he is Ahmadiyya because Ahmadiyyas, they were funding him that time initially in early 30s. Because they have even funded, you'll be surprised, I don't know whether you know, they were funding even Muslim League. Yes, that point of time. It was only this Ahmadis. They funded him, they funded even Jinnah. That time. I want to say that, basically, Sheikh did it, you said in 1950, it was not 1950, it was 1948. And he had no mandate, by the way. He was nominated Prime Minister that time. So, he had no authority to pass any legislation. And despite that, he passed a legislation called this Evolution of Land Reforms, what we call it in the short term, that is the Land Reform Act. So what he did, he chose to have the upper limit of it. You'll be surprised, 182 canals. The man who is possessing more than 182 canals, 82, I don't know why, 82, I will tell you why. 82 canals, he would be snatched that other portion of the land given to the peasant who was tilling it. So they were mostly Muslims. And the landlords were mostly Dogras, Hindu Dogras and Kashmiri Pandits. So not mostly, I am telling you. Otherwise, Muslims were also having a large portion of the land. They also forfeited that land, who were having more than 180. And he was having two things in mind, because Afzal Beg at one point of a time was the revenue minister in Maharaja Hari Singh's cabinet also. So he was knowing ins and outs of that. He was very close man of this Sheikh. And he formulated this bill, Land Reforms Bill, and he was possessing 182 canals in Anantnag. So he kept it according to his own choice, and he told Sheikh that how much land your in-laws are having, we will have like that. So in-laws were basically Hungarian. They had no right to have possess any land here. But despite that, everything he forgot about it. He overlooked it. He just shut his eyes on that. He gave them the whole land, 100 canals in Amir Road, this Tangmarg, Gulmarg, and
I
all
think
other
the
things.
Nidos is also.
Yes. It's this is what I'm telling you, Nidos. So it was all kind of a thing. He was looking at his own self first. And people got 2 canals, 3 canals, 4 canals, whatever. But ultimately, his policy, I mean, Nehru's policy. Nehru was very chalak kind of a person in the sense that he wanted to project him against Jinnah. Because he could not have competed with Jinnah, because Jinnah was a subcontinent leader. He was a leader of only Kashmir Valley, that too of Srinagar city only, because there was no that kind of a communication which is presently this time in existence in whole of the world. So it was very difficult for a man in Anantnag to understand or think about Sheikh Abdullah, his personality, his teachings, and whatever his philosophy is. So he was more popular in Srinagar downtown and Srinagar uptown. So
Yes.
this was his area of activities otherwise. So what he did, but there was a force behind him. That was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru.
Okay.
And Jawaharlal Nehru was very close to Maharaja Hari Singh. Though Maharaja Hari Singh never liked him because he was creating problems for him. But he had his blessings, Nehru's blessings. He was always helping him. And you will be surprised, Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel was not happy with Sheikh.
Okay.
He could understand his vacillating nature, and he was saying that he will create problems for India in the long run, and which he did. In the sense that generations to generations are now anti-India in Kashmir. It is because of him, because he was all the time changing his stance. Sometimes he was saying Pakistan is good, sometimes he was saying India is good, sometimes he said Azadi, we want Azadi from both the
But most of the times he always favored Kashmiri Muslims. But like if we talk about contemporary times, these days Kashmiri students or the Kashmiri shawl sellers, they're actually being threatened in other states of India.
This is what I'm telling you.
So-
No? Basically he never thought how India will emerge at one point of time. I will tell you something very interesting. When how first prime minister was selected in India. Something about that?
No.
It was a Congress. There was a mechanism. Gandhi started it. Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Patel Sahab. They were, Patel Sahab was a man of vision.
Okay.
So they thought they created a mechanism. They wanted this president of the Congress to become the first prime minister of India. And unfortunately, that time it was Abul Kalam Azad.
Okay.
In 1946, I'm telling you. Gandhiji told Nehru and Patel that we'll go for election of Congress, because two times, for two terms, they had not fought any elections or held elections for the Congress president. So he was made to continue this Abul Kalam Azad. So they wanted the replacement of this Azad. So they told Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Patel to contest elections.
Okay.
And out of 15 members, there were 15 members. Patel got some 12 votes. And Nehru got only 3.
Okay.
But Gandhi told Patel Sahab that you should give this prime ministership to
Nehru.
Because Patel was, I told you earlier also that he was a visionary man, I'm telling you. He said, okay, because on one ground he said like that, because he was knowing that Nehru has a different image. He is a leftist kind of a thing, and he is a socialist.
And had leadership qualities.
He has that image. He had that image in the whole of the world. So in order to project him in the world, that we are socialist, we are secularist, like that. So he allowed him to be the prime minister. So, but there was a lot of influence of, now you can say like that, you just think about it. Why Patel Sahab was given 12 votes out of 15? Because there were all those people who were for Hindu India.
Okay.
That time also. This is why, because he had the inclination towards that Hindutva that time also. Not exactly Hindutva. This Hindutva word came later on, but it was a Hindu nation, they used to say. So they gave votes to Patel Sahab. And Patel Sahab was very clear about it. This is why I like RSS people and these Hindu extremists. They are so straightforward and forthright. Whatever they say you on the face of it.
Okay.
They say that we want Hindu India. They are in a way, they are 100% true, and they are right in saying like that.
So Patel was one among them.
So he was also like that.
Huh.
He in 1940, I'll tell you one instance. In 1948, he got annoyed because he was not allowed to file his papers for Congress presidentship. This Azad, because he was told by Gandhi not to file the papers. Now he wanted otherwise.
Okay.
Because they wanted a prime minister, Hindu prime minister. So this is why, this is the indication you can think that it was a Hindu India that time also.
But how these two ideologies flow together in such circumstances, like between Nehru and Patel?
I'll tell
Because
you,
these
I'll tell
days
you.
we have similar issues in India.
They were both very accommodating.
Okay.
He was accommodating this choice of Nehru, Patel Saab, and Nehru was also accommodating his views.
Okay.
He was addressing him in a very, very refined way, and both of them, they had respect for each other, even for Gandhi. But their philosophy was also that they were knowing, Nehru was knowing that ultimately it will just have a new India will come once upon after some, say, 2 decades, 3 decades. That happened.
Okay.
He was knowing it, and it is now emerging as a new India. But Patel was knowing it will come as a new India, and this is why he was telling you. I was telling you something about 1948. This Azad said something during this one speech in Lucknow.
Okay.
He said that if we are not treated well in this India, because we have chosen to be with India, 3 crore Muslims were, they were the remnants of who went back, they migrated to Pakistan. So what he said like that, when he said like that, he was replied by Patel in Calcutta. He was was just having a speech in Calcutta, and he told the mob that if anybody wants to go to Pakistan, he is welcome to go to Pakistan at this point of a time. Even that was 1948.
Okay.
The division had taken place. It was 1 year of this independent 2 countries now. So this is why he replied to this man, this Azad, that you should never use such words now in future. That means we should think over it now.
Okay.
Just imagine how visionary this Patel was, that he said in 1948, you can go to Pakistan if you don't like India. Now, what is the ideology of people here? They say if you are not happy with here, we can send you to Pakistan. Every second this Indian says like that. Who's to say that extremist Hindu and all that.
But I think that's not the correct way, because we chose India.
I don't say that. I don't say like that. But if you don't like it, basically you cannot go together, because if you say our religion is a totally monotheist, and we will never ever be loyal to whatever our mother India and the mother India will never say. We'll say India, ya Bharat, not mother India, because it is contrary to Islamic teachings and the philosophy of Islam. So there is a difference between the two. There is a contradiction. This is why Savarkar said that these two religions, Christianity and Islam, it is Abrahamical Islam, and they will be loyal to Arab, so the Arab Muslims, like they will be more loyal to Makkah than to India. And he's right that way. So this is why I say they were very straightforward and forthright.
Okay. So can we talk about Congress's involvement in Kashmir politics during early times? Because
I will tell you.
A lot of Kashmiris still have a soft corner for Congress.
Yes. Basically, Congress was again riding on 2 horses. They were in a way trying to win over Kashmiri Muslims, because this man has a feminine love for Nehru, because he was originally a Kashmiri Pandit. He had a different love for Kashmir. He wanted to retain Kashmir. Otherwise, many writers write that. Even M.J. Akbar has written in his own book that Patel Saab was always telling this Nehru that we'll bleed through this Kashmir only. He was never happy to have Kashmir Valley, at least with India, because he was knowing it. It is happening now. Any tourist is coming, he is being killed, he is being hurt, whatever. Army man, everybody is this terrorism, this insurgency. It has come only from Kashmir. Okay. This is the gateway, and this is the main problem with India. Had this Kashmir been not there, this problem, India would have had prosperity to the height, and there would have been this development and everything. So would have been with Pakistan. So this Kashmir region, valley, this has become a bone of contention between the 2 countries, and it has regressed their progress and all that, both the countries. So this is what I am telling you. Nehru was trying to have Kashmir, but at the same time, let me tell you and make it clear, he also never wanted this 370 to continue. Okay. He has said number of times in 1964 in a parliament speech he said when this Atal Bihari told him that you should get away with this Article 370 when Mukherjee was killed here in died accidentally, whatever.
Yeah.
But it is generally believed that he was killed here in this by Sheikh Abdullah regime and all that.
Yeah.
But he, at that point of a time, he said in the parliament that this is a temporary provision. We are going to do away with this. And you know, he used to be very much against Sheikh Abdullah, this Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Okay.
Atal Bihari Vajpayee used to call him the king of king. He was so critical about Sheikh Abdullah, whom they call it. He was a man who was visionary. He was saying Kashmiriyat, Insaniyat, whatever. But he was, once upon a time in 2004, he wanted to have a relook of Constitution of India. He wanted to have Manusutra as constitution, whatever, the highest code of conduct, what is called as grand norm.
Okay. So after the removal or abrogation of Article 370 in Kashmir, there was this term used as Naya Kashmir. But actually this term was used by these Abdullahs.
I will tell you.
Yeah. But actually he used it for the economic reforms in Kashmir.
It was not done by Ibn Abdullah. Again, the BPL, Bedi, it was Marxist concept. Naya Kashmir.
Okay, the same influence,
Yes.
like you said.
There were 9 points in this Naya Kashmir plan, which was drafted by BPL Bedi and his wife Freddie Bedi. She was an English woman. He was a Sikh, Bedi.
Okay.
So they together wrote and drafted it. You know where? Lahore.
Okay, so this was
This
not his
Naya
baby.
Kashmir.
Okay, this was not his.
It was
baby.
not Sheikh Saab baby. It was Bedi's baby.
Okay.
It was Marxist ultimate. So Naya Kashmir is like that. Socialism, secularism, like that kind of no religion, which was not possible otherwise in Kashmir. We are so conservative, Kashmiri Muslims, and so sentimental about religion. We will not tolerate anything on religion.
Yes, of course.
Whether true, whether wrong, but nothing going. No word on religion. So this is what I'm telling you, Sheikh was doing that. They will not compromise on that. But he wanted to give a new picture, that Naya Kashmir. Now, BJP regime is also carrying forward this Naya Kashmir, but they have different thing in mind called Kashmir, New Kashmir. New Kashmir means for them that they will have a Hindutva kind of a Kashmir.
Okay.
The Hindutva means the Hindu way of life. There will be Sanskrit, the curriculum.
Yes.
There will be different this history,
Yes.
like what is provided in the NCRT now, which people differ at many occasions. They differ on this also, that there is some kind of aberrations in this NRCT, whatever, NCRT. But they want that type of Kashmir.
Okay.
And Sheikh wanted different kind of a Kashmir, Naya Kashmir, and BPL Bedi wanted a different Naya Kashmir. It's like that.
Okay. So before this question, you also talked about the death of Dr. Mukherjee. So I would like to know the backstory of it. Like when he came to Kashmir, although he was a minister during the tenure of Nehru, he came to Kashmir. He was arrested. I think it was 11 May, and then he was sent to Central Jail. Then
not
I
Central
think.
Jail. Okay, tell me.
So later it was confirmed that he died due to some disease or heart attack. But in 2004, Atal Bihari Vajpayee said that he was killed, and it was allegedly on the Abdullah families that he got killed. Why was he sent to Kashmir in the first place? What was his assignment? Because he was clearly a Hindu and actually followed this Hindu theory.
I'll tell you. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was the first president of Hindu Mahasabha, basically. Thereafter came RSS. It was Hindu Mahasabha president, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. And Shyama Prasad Mukherjee at one point of a time was also minister in finance minister.
Yes.
With whom, this Muslim League in Sindh. Because this Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League had a coalition of this government, and he was the part of that. But he was a staunch Hindu. He had this Hindu ideology and Hindutva ideology he had, like that. He was a very clear man about this. I'm telling you, I'm repeating it, that all these extremist Hindus, they were very clear in their philosophy. So he was also there like that. He never wanted that there should be a permit. There was a permit system in coming to Kashmir, because at that point of a time it was not fully integrated with India. So there was to get some permission to enter into the territory of Jammu and Kashmir. He wanted to break that.
Okay.
He wanted to have a kind of a protest. He came down from here, and he was caught at this. He was arrested in Bakshi was that time deputy prime minister, and he was holding the home portfolio as well.
Okay.
Ghulam Ahmad Bakshi. They got him arrested in this what is it called, Jammu, that Lakhanpur.
Okay.
He was kept in this guest house, and he was kept there, and he was given a slow poisoning kind of a thing, food, whatever, and he was ultimately shown that he had some heart attack. Otherwise, he was only 51-year-old. So what happened? His mother, she was crying that she was telling them, at least give me the medical report how he died, and nobody gave that. This is why he was very close to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This is why in Parliament
he took up.
No, not only he in Parliament that time. He raised a voice against why he was killed, and even he got so embarrassed and humiliated. This Nehru, he was the prime minister. He couldn't reply to his own people. He was unable to. He was telling Sheikh that why you killed him. Sheikh said, I have never killed him. It was Bakshi who killed him. There was another thing within this Kashmir and something else in India. But ultimately, it was Sheikh's plan to teach them lesson by getting him killed, and exactly he was killed in the sense he was slow poisoned, and he was given some poison through food and all that. This is what has happened. Even Atal Bihari Vajpayee believed in that.
Okay, so what's your take on the press freedom in India, especially in Kashmir, like being a journalist?
Now or earlier?
Both.
I will tell you, this press freedom, it was the first amendment to the Constitution of India. I don't know whether you know it. When this was made a fundamental right, that 1901 article, they had a back thought after some days only. They had a first amendment to the Constitution, it was to 1901 article. That it is not an absolute right. And 1901 article is not only available to the journalists, the writers, it is available to all citizens of India, citizens. But with certain limitations. So you don't have to cross the limitations. Why you just commit any kind of a defamation or something like that, which is not in the interest of the nation, against the sovereignty, integrity of the country, there you have to stop. There you will cross the red line. So this is what I'm telling you. Now it has had a different now notion in the whole of the world about the press freedom, particularly. Let us be very specific about press freedom. I don't think anybody now, even which are very known democracies, they don't even believe in this now. If you look at America, look at that Trump. He doesn't tolerate the question even. Question he can avoid. But he rebukes that man, that journalist. He doesn't want him to listen to those uncomfortable questions. This is. I think this phenomena has come all over the world now.
Okay.
Nobody tolerates it, and so India cannot be the exception or excluded from this. There is some kind of this. I can say the fetters are there, the gagging is there, press gagging is there, and to my opinion. And it is very important also, let me tell you, because you cannot run country like this. In everything that journalists will try to poke nose, and he will not. At one point at a time, when America was, it came up as a country. That time, even the first president of America told the courts, you will have to be some kind of liberal in granting the stay or status quo to any developmental work, and they did it. They have different mindset than Indians and all that. We make it like that. We make so much of hue and cry. Have you ever heard that these Americans, these US journalists, they make hue and cry about how he is treating them, their president? They are writing about India, the bad things about India, Pakistan, whatever, the whole of the world. But they will never write bad things about their own country, like Washington Post, the other New York Times or whatever. But we feel so happy about it when they write something about India. They will never write about their own press freedom, which is being scuttled, which is being, I mean to say that's being slapped. He doesn't want that press freedom should be their president.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm telling you. But I have seen mostly in our subcontinent, Pakistan, India, we are very conscious of this press freedom. We want to just demolish our own country and our own societies by writing nonsense things also. But I'm a journalist at the same time, let me say. But there should be some kind of these, I mean to say, limitations. You should not go beyond that. You will malign somebody. You will say something against some person without knowing or without getting it substantiated, without getting his quote about it, his reaction about what you say in the camera, in even your writings.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Yeah, the kind of demographic change Kashmir went through, especially before the elections, the abrogation of Article 370
demographic changes.
Like there were constituencies that
that is not a demographic change. I'll tell you. There was a kind of a delimitation or reorganization of the
exactly like the Anantnag went with.
I will tell you. This is again a political exercise, and unfortunately, Sheikh Abdullah was the part of that. Why do you disagree on that? I'll tell you, he's another this member of parliament, Justice Masoodi. He has also put his signatures that time. He should not have. He should have protested. If he just when that exercise was held, some portion of this Rajouri was put with Anantnag. That is a part of otherwise that what is it called, Pir Panchal and Jammu division.
Yeah.
So he should have objected to that. He never objected to that. Because he wanted to please the government in place in
but they
center.
Didn't had an opinion during that time.
But they could have. No. They could have exercised it. Nobody had stopped them. They never said it. They never even told the press. They put the signatures and afterwards we came to know when there was this polling and all that. So demographic change, you mean if I say that there was an imbalance of population about it is not possible. I don't think it is possible in Kashmir Valley at least. But Jammu can be the casualty of this kind of exercise.
Like could be.
Yes.
Okay. What's your point of view about the removal of Article 370, especially in Modi's tenure? And do you think Modi is the best choice for India in the coming times?
No, I don't know about the personality of somebody leaders, but I can tell you about 370 article. Article 370, in certain things, it was detrimental to the people of Kashmir. In the sense, I'm talking of Article 370 first, because it was giving unlimited powers to the legislators to make the laws, which were sometimes detrimental to the people of Kashmir, and they were thinking in their own terms. I will give an example. There was one law which was giving unlimited privileges to the chief ministers.
Okay.
They could retain the house for the whole of the life after demitting the office. Their family members, health care free, electricity free, water supply free, everything free, house free.
Okay.
Cars, gadis, peons, and these typists, everything.
I think you had termed it as Abdullahism, something in your book.
Sheikhdom.
Sheikhdom, yes.
Okay, I'll tell you about this privileges. So when it was done by first time it was done by Sheikh Saab. Then thereafter in 1996, Farooq Abdullah, in 84, when Gul Shah came, he added more privileges to it with an amendment. Then, because he was taking the shield of what? Article 370. Thereafter, when in 1996, Farooq came, he again added another point in that privileges. And that was the last. And, every chief minister, whoever had been the chief minister, even for the 4 days, he would get a bungalow, he would get all these privileges. And who were the chief ministers? All the people from the first family, Sheikh family, or maximum Mufti came once, and Ghulam Nabi Azad. They were only the two outsiders. Otherwise, they had their run, this Sheikh family. So what I'm telling you, these kind of things, and like these, I mean to say, this was one example. There were a lot of these kind of legislations they were having for their own self and for own interests. Now we'll talk about Article 35A. That was for the general public. That because it used to prevent any outsider to get settled in Kashmir, and so that our demography, the population ratio will not get destabilized or changed. So that that Article 35 used to protect that.
Yes.
You know who has started this, by the way? It has happened in 1925 by Kashmiri Pandits. You'll be surprised. They wanted that Article 370 and 35, particularly 35A, should remain in the Constitution.
Okay.
It was during Maharaja Hari Singh's time. He had, I think, that time only taken over as the Maharaja, new Maharaja, this Maharaja Hari Singh, 1925 or 20 something. In 1920, he had taken over, and 1925, they launched an agitation. I will tell you why.
Okay.
Kashmiri Pandits were, by and large, they had an education, say, up to 12. Graduation maximum. Okay. Kashmiri Muslims were totally unpad. They were uneducated, illiterate, and all that. They would get the job of only the springer or whatever, sweeper, whatever, municipality or gardener, and Maharaja would not give them the job of even the cook because he would not like to have the food from the Muslim hand. So, but they were dependent on the minority Kashmiri Pandits, Muslims I mean. These Kashmiri Pandits used to have the maximum rank of, say, SO, sectional officer, or some Tahsildar, and not more beyond that. Okay. But these Kashmiri Pandits, they are very, very intelligent people. They thought and they were aiming at to become the chief secretaries or the prime ministers. What they said, they told this man, please, at that time, there used to be ICS officers, not IAS officers. He used to borrow them particularly from Calcutta. They are well-read people, and they have well-read all through. And you will be surprised, by the way, I will tell you, this Hindutva and this RSS group, gang, it has come from Calcutta on, Bengal. They were all Bengalis. And Bengalis were also well-read, educated people. So he was borrowing it from Calcutta and making them the chief secretaries, Banerjee, something. Yeah. So they never liked it. They wanted a local man and a Kashmiri Pandit. So they launched an agitation in 1925 and got it done ultimately. In 1927, it was codified and made a law. This 35A. This is the history of it.
I am quite surprised by the fact that Kashmiri Pandits were in favor of 35A.
And they rejoiced the more when it was abrogated. I have written in my book also. They were the first people who rejoiced that they wanted that it should give the pain to Kashmiri Muslims.
Yes.
This is another thing.
This is the reason.
This is what I'm telling you, no? So otherwise, they have protected Kashmiriyat and this what they call it, Kashmirism, whatever, Kashmiri culture and they love. By the way, I'm telling you something very interesting and it's very important. Kashmiri Pandits love Kashmir in real terms, I'm telling you, more than Kashmiri Muslims, I'm telling you. Yeah. Though Kashmiri Muslims claim to be the owners of this Kashmir Valley and they feel that this is our Kashmir, but I am telling you seriously, Kashmiri Hindus, Pandits, they love Kashmir.
Even Kashmiri Muslims are very accommodative of the fact that Kashmiri Pandits should return to Kashmir.
That's another point. That's a political point. I am telling you, they really love. I have been to certain countries where I have met these Kashmiri Pandits. They really they long for this Kashmir and they love Kashmir.
Yeah.
I have one friend. He's a pilot. I usually, when I fly with him, he is taking me in the cockpit. He will always listen to these, what is that called, chakri? Chakri kind of a thing, that Kashmiri local folk songs. And I used to get bored. I used to tell him, please just stop this nonsense. He would say, no, I love it. You know, this is the love. They have the real love for Kashmir.
I think this conversation is unending. There's a lot to it. Maybe we will continue in next episode. Also, I must say you're a critic of Abdullah.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you the fact. This is the history. This is history. One can say it like that.
So this was.
I have nothing personal with them. They may feel like that, but I have nothing personal with them.
Okay. So this was really an interesting conversation. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
sparing
much.
your time
Thank
for
you.
this
God bless
interview.
you. Thank you.